Hi everyone, my name is Denise Schaff, and by way of introduction, I'm a mother of 3 children, ages 17, 14, and 10. I'm also a talent director at a large consulting firm, and I recently joined the Rodan Fields family just a few months ago. What I'd like to do is share with you how I became connected to Rodan Fields, why I joined Rodan Fields, and a little bit about my experience so far. So first, I became connected to Rodan Fields through a former colleague of mine, Elena Kelly. Elena and I worked very closely together for many years until Elena temporarily left the workforce to start her own family. We did stay connected over the years, primarily through social media. And when Elena launched her skincare business, I became very intrigued by what she was doing. And that is when I began what I'll call my silent following, or as my kids like to call it, stalking. And for those of you who have kids at that social media age, you know all too well in terms of what that stalking is and what we need to do as parents. So anyway, I started to follow what Elena was doing, what her postings were, initially because I am a product junkie at heart. And so I was very interested in what she had to say about the products. And then I attended one of the virtual business events, something very similar to the one tonight. And following that event, I had several follow-up conversations before I jumped in to becoming a consultant. So why did I jump in? There were a few reasons what was driving behind the why as to why now and why this. But the main reason for me personally was that I have spent a lifetime taking care of others, both in my personal and my professional career. And currently I work as I mentioned, I work at a large global consulting firm that goes through many organizational changes. And I feel very fatigued about those changes occurring that I have little control over. So those changes often impact what I'm doing, who I'm working for, with not a lot of say in the process. And with some recent changes taking place at work yet again, I really felt a very strong pull to really take a stand and take care of myself and put some control into my own destiny. And taking care of myself is not something that comes very easy to me. And so going in this direction, while it feels pretty scary and uncomfortable, at the same time, it feels very exciting. I feel I feel like I'm willing to take some chances for myself, and I felt a large pull towards that. And starting my own business was a way to make an investment in me, my well-being, and also the future of my family. The second reason, while it may seem a little obvious, it was just a way for me to also generate some additional income that I could use to initially fund some educational costs. Having 3 children, that seems to be a very primary focus for me right now, but also other things like vacations. And then a goal of mine is to really ultimately grow that into something a little bit more substantial. Not that education isn't substantial enough. I've also always wanted to do something for myself, but I've always struggled with the what or the how. And as I said, I'm a product junkie, so this Rodan Fields was totally up my alley. And the investment and startup in getting yourself started with the business is really pretty easy. And a one-stop shopper at heart, so all of the components are really there. So when I was introduced to the opportunity, it spoke to a lot of things that I was craving. Truly flexible hours on my own terms, a market and brand that was already established, no inventory, and back office support. The idea of having to put all that together in your own business with it already being there, it honestly felt too good to be true. The only area that was holding me back, that took me a lot of follow-up conversations, was really around this whole idea of selling. I did not see myself as a salesperson, or asking my friends to buy for me felt very uncomfortable, and not really wanting to ask them to do things like that. Also, as an HR professional by trade, I also know from a lot of the research that we've done that women don't really tend to gravitate towards sales types of jobs that feels very risky to them. And the thought of cold calling activities was something I did not want. So I did spend a lot of time talking about that. And a lot of follow-up conversations that I had were around selling, how it really worked. And it really works through sharing with your existing networks and friends that is similar to how you might share other things. So if you think about, who you're going to use to paint your house or do work on your house or what preschool your children are going to, that referral network is one of the most powerful networks out there. And the concept around that was really tapping into your network as a referral based thing. And I felt that felt more natural to me and something that I could do. Considering all of that, I decided to take a leap. And that felt a little scary, but I jumped in anyway, primarily because I knew that there was a support network there to help me. I did not feel like I would be jumping into this and then just being in it alone. I really felt that there would be people around me to help me. And that was something that was very desirable and very appealing to me. So let me just tell you, again, it's been a short few months, but let me just tell you what I've learned so far. That number one, that whole sales piece and that cold calling concept does not exist. It is truly a relation-based referral concept. And this is how, again, I said I naturally operate, which really allows me to stay true to myself. So my initial reaction was, when signing on around this was, well, I don't have a big network, or I only have, or a large group of friends. I think, to quote myself, I said, I don't have any friends. And really, if you don't have this huge group of network or people to tap into, will that prevent you from being successful? And someone who felt that way, I will tell you that's not true at all. All you need are a few friends, and the opportunity is to be able to tap into their networks through referrals. And that's how it starts. And I will tell you, asking your friends to help you by sharing what you're doing and the products has an amazing return on investment. So that was number one, what I've learned so far. The second thing I learned is that the instant expanded network and support I have gained has been truly one of the best experiences. And when I say instant and supportive, I mean it in every sense of the word. I work currently in a very competitive industry where it can be very stressful. So this felt a little foreign to me. So having all these resources around has truly been both surprising and amazing. There are people available through this network that while they themselves are trying to grow their own business, they are equally committed to trying to help you. And sharing is a part of the culture instantly. I mean, seriously, where do you find that? So I've never felt like I've been going at this alone, and the pay it forward concept is naturally built into this network. And then lastly, most importantly, the products are really amazing and they have proven results. I use them, my children use them, my friends use them. They really practically sell themselves. So having to build that brand or having a product that you can stand behind really does exist in these products. So in the short 3 months of joining this business, I have opened myself up to a whole bunch of possibilities that include taking chances for myself, dealing with rejection and moving on quicker, and feeling empowered to have conversations that normally I would have avoided for months or just not have had at all. And the crossover between my professional and my personal life has been astounding. I am by no means done. I mean, this is really just the beginning for me, but I really like where it's leading me. And my only last parting words of advice, having gone through this process, is to get out of your head, go with your gut, and just do it. You will be very surprised and very happy about where this takes you both personally and professionally. And with that, I will close off for the night and say thank you for listening.